Now, the topic of conversation this morning, bride price in the 21st century. Before, in the first hour of the show, we took some very interesting comments, as people responding on the relevance of bride price in this 21st century. Is it something that should still be practiced? Now, we have a guest in the studio in name and person of Pastor Mrs. Idowu Ogochukwu Monier, who is a compare. But as I said before the break, compare doesn't do justice, to what these amazing sets of people do. She's an Alaga. Now, she's a traditional marriage MC, probably known as an Alaga Idowu. She hosts wedding ceremonies and engagements. She's also an entrepreneur specializing in many other fields. She also pastors a church in which she is the visionary. Good morning, Ma. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning.
On the show this morning. Very, very excited.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, us in the office, we know why we're excited to have Pastor Mrs. Ogochukwu in the studio with us, but it's something I'll review later on the show. Now, let's get straight into the conversation. Okay. Now, bride price. Some people have said that, bride price is ridiculous, that is not something that should be practiced anymore, while some others maintain that is a beautiful traditional religion that should be encouraged. Where do you stand as we get into the conversation? Where do you stand on this side of the coin?
Left to me, bride price must not be ruled out. That's the pride of your parents.
Okay.
Because during my own time, I did not jump the fence. If you are not paid on as a lady, that shows you sold yourself out so cheaply. And you might not have honor.
Really?
Yes, because men does not appreciate what they get free. So don't give yourself out free. And that is the joy of your parents. That's the day you bring them out and to say, we gave birth to this girl, we trained her well, and they are happy that a family, a man is coming to take their daughter as a wife. So bride price should not be ruled out.
Okay. All right. So now, taking a leaf from what you just said, now we read somebody responded to the question we're asking on the relevance of bride price, and she told us a story about a man who beat his wife, and anytime he beats his wife, he's always saying that, I paid for your bride price, and all this kind of stuff. Now some women have come out to say that that is the thing that is wrong with bride price, that some men take it as an entitlement to do whatever it is they wish to do to their wife. How would you respond to that?
For that man to be beating the wife because of that he paid the bride price, he's missing it. Payment of bride price over your wife make you to cherish her the more. Because they did not give it to you, they did not give that girl to you as your slave. That bride price is the right of the family. And I don't think they sell it out for you. They sell that woman out for you to be maltreating her. In other words, you are supposed to cherish her, nurture her, and take good care of her.
I asked you a question about men who beat their wives, claiming that they have the right to do that because they paid price. So please, let's pick up from the points we're making.
I think if you want to look into that man's life, maybe it's from his foundation. Maybe he learned that from the father. Maybe that's how the father treats the mother. I don't think any man that is with his senses should beat or maltreat his wife because of any bride price. That is the right of the family and the right of your wife, because Bible says whatever a man sows, that he will reap. Because you know that woman is going to give birth to a woman and a man for you. So you will not like any woman to maltreat your daughter because of any bride price. Is that right?
Who determines that it's a right? Very interesting word you're using there, that it's the rights of the family, it's the rights of the bride. Is this a legal thing? Is it a traditional thing? Who has determined this rights?
It's tradition and it's culture.
Okay.
Especially I don't even see any culture that does not take bride price. Whether Igbo, Hausa, or Yoruba land. So that is how it has been. Apart from this 21st century we are talking about. As a child, I grown up meeting up with bride price. So the way they are taking it may be different now, but bride price have been for long.
So let's talk about those changes. Let's talk about how bride price collection has been in the past compared to now. Now, you know, as in your experience as an Alaga Iduru, I must say, you this Alaga,
Alaga Iduru, Alaga Ijoko.
Alaga Ijoko, what's the difference?
Alaga Iduru is groom side.
Okay.
Alaga Ijoko is bride side.
Okay.
So it's now the Alaga Ijoko that is the host of Alaga Iduru.
Okay, so it's Alaga. Okay, now let me paint something to you. I went with my friend to go and marry his wife, and they were billing us. So is the Alaga Ijoko that was collecting our money?
Yes.
Right.
Alaga Ijoko.
That's why people. That's why I'm very happy I said to me now, because
Alaga Ijoko owns the house that day.
Okay, interesting. That's why people are collecting all our money. All right, so
it's once in a lifetime.
Well, actually, I think I find it beautiful as well. You know, that whole experience. But now, when it comes to bride price, how has it changed from, you know, how it was collected or practiced back in the day compared to now? Has this changed, or how has it changed?
There's no big difference. Okay. Only that we modernize some things now.
Okay.
We modernize it. Then, if the groom side are coming to pay bride price and other loads, I think they carry it with on their heads. But now there's transportation. Then the bill, there's no difference, because I went to one traditional marriage and wedding that was July 15th. The load is still there. During my own time, 2002, and the one I went July 15th this year, the yam my husband brought then was 42 tubers of yam. Right. And this lady's own, he's still 42 tubers of yam. Okay. The only difference is the money. That is the bride price per se. Then my own bride price was 1,000. So this girl own is more higher. Far more higher.
Can you give us a figure?
Around 20,000.
Right, interesting. Right, interesting. You know, this morning we saw a story of a man who paid 2 million naira for a bride price, and it's leading me to my next question: is bride price negotiable?
No, let's differentiate it. Did they monetize everything he's bringing, or there is a yam, fish, and other things?
That's a good question.
But a carton of wine. Did they monetize everything for him, or with the other loads? And this thing we are talking about now depends on family and understanding between the two families.
So the bride price is negotiable depending on Really? Okay, so I mean, in your experience, what if a family decides not to negotiate with the groom? How will that kind of situation be handled?
I don't think it's supposed to be like that, because they should, the bride's family should understand that this girl, this lady is leaving their family and going to that groom's family. So they should pave way for her to enjoy the other family. Because if they stand on their points and they make it so serious, it's going to be serious for that lady. Actually. By the time she gets there, they want to avenge. If those family are not friendly, or they are not they are not forgiving type, they want to make her to pay everything that the family have done. Now in this house, that money we paid on your
you
will pay. Like my husband, when they were coming, you know, I got married to Delta man, and from Benin up like that, they don't prostrate when they are coming to marry their wife. They don't prostrate. Even in their culture, they don't prostrate. But when my husband came, with the family, they have to prostrate. So for months, they are saying, we lie down. We lie down. I was just hearing, we lie down. Yes, you have to, your culture, you will keep your culture in your place, because you are coming, we are talking of intertribal marriage now. So you are coming to another culture to marry a wife. You must abide with their own culture where you are coming to marry.
That makes a lot of sense. Yes. All right, now what is some of the core tribal differences between, for instance, how Yoruba collects bride price compared to Igbo, compared to Edo? Yeah. So what are some of the differences or similarities within these different tribes in Nigeria?
See, I went to one traditional marriage of Edo. This brother came to marry an Edo lady from Kogi. So they did that in Lagos. If you did not settle the people at home, the Edo, if you did not settle them at home, that is the elders. They monetize this traditional marriage I'm talking about now. The couple did not bring anything, only 1 carton of malt, but they have monetized it. He have to send money around 250,000 to the people in the village before they will allow them to do anything in Lagos. So the people in Lagos now, that's the father is late. Yeah. So the senior brother that was sitting, coupled with the mother and the family in Lagos, they monetize everything. They say, don't bring any load. Because Edo, if it is Yoruba, we buy fishes, like 1 basket of fish. But Edo is 1 full fish, big fish like this, inside the basin. 1 fish that will fill the plate like this.
For everybody.
Only 1 fish, but very big, giant fish, dried fish. That is what they take. Then if they are taking load, I don't know. But this one was monetized 150 to the family.
That's very interesting. So how would that be different from, for instance, how Yoruba would collect bride
Yoruba price? Love, it is that load. It is that load that they want to see those loads, and they say, it's a pride of the mother and the father as well, that
meaning that they've done something.
Yes, they've done something over my daughter, especially when the father did it during his own time. He wants you to repay, to repay what he has done over your mother.
Very, very, very interesting. I'm really having fun on this conversation this morning. Now, some people would say that, now let's take this conversation to the gender equality aspect, right? Now, some women have come out to say that the reason why the bride price is not so much of a good thing is because it affects gender equality in our society. I would like to know your stance on gender equality as well, but, in relation to bride price, do you think that this whole idea of bride price affects gender equality in our society?
I don't think.
Okay.
I don't think. There is something ladies should know. This technology era wants to change some things, but we should not allow our culture or our tradition to die just like that. There are some things that are not good during then. Yeah. But now, as Christianity is going viral, there are some things that we should not find in the wedding list. Then, this gender equality, there is nothing bad in it. Ladies should not be afraid that, how will my wife take it? Or the family. Like my husband's side, when I want to marry, I was so surprised when my husband said, my mommy is coming from Delta to Lagos, from Lagos to my place. When you get to my place, Elisha, my daddy's village is inside Elisha, Ibala. My husband took a full bus. Wow. And all the family, they came to know my father. and to ask my father, please give us your daughter to marry. And it is, I find it as honor. This is how it's supposed to be. This technology and Google, there are some things you go and ask Google. There are some things Google cannot tell you. I was telling my daughter, I said, see, you don't just come home and tell me, Mom, I'm married. For where? I want to sit down and take that honor that, yes, I gave birth to a daughter, and a man find it honor to come and ask us, please give us your daughter to marry. That does not make her to be so inferior to you. You understand? Yeah. It does not make her inferior because you have put one certain amount of money down. I paid for your head. In my place, you can bring your bride price. That bride price, the one they brought for me, they return it to her, to the family. Wow. They said, the 1,000, the envelope like this, you know, oríṣiríṣi owó will be there. Money will be there. Ìyá gbọ́, bàbá gbọ́, ìyàwó ilé, ọmọ ilé, ìṣílẹ̀kùn, all this list. The envelopes will be there. They collected everything. Even this lady I went for on the July 15th, look at it. Is it not amazing? They collected everything, but that bride price, they brought it out and said, this one we give bride. The bride parent took part of it. They returned the part of it to the groom family that we did not sell our daughter. And that will give them caution. It will give them caution that, please, don't maltreat our daughter. And there, they were exchanging their culture. Tell your daughter, tell our daughter your culture, and let our daughter know your culture. Let us know your culture, so that tomorrow it will not be as if,
Yeah, that's very, very interesting. I'm glad you actually raised that, you know. And now, because I'm glad you raised that, because in one of the comments that we got back, one of the respondents said that bride price is actually a form of consent for the family releasing their daughter. It's sort of a permission. Do you agree with that line of thought?
Yes, it's a permission. It's joy of the parents to give their daughter out to a responsible man. So they expected you to be a responsible man that is capable to take care of their daughter, not to maltreat her.
That's very interesting. Now we're wrapping up this conversation soon, but I want to ask you this. Do you think that the modernization that we're seeing in our tradition, in the way we practice our tradition, in the way we understand our culture, I'm glad you mentioned something about technology, you know, digital, social media, and all these things. Do you think this modernization is harming our tradition and our culture? Do you think that it is shifting the mindset of the young people towards a negative or a positive limelight, you know, when they think about our tradition and our culture?
Honestly, I will answer you, it depends on family. It depends on a family that raised those youths. You know, I run a daycare. In my daycare, I'm not too comfortable with this issue of single mother, single parents. I don't really enjoy them. I love to see a woman with a child coming to ask me the details about my daycare. These things have made a divorce or a separation. This is the genesis of divorce and separation in our society today. Allow counseling to take place in your marriage, in whoever you want to go with. It's not this 21st century, the technology now. They believe they have known it all, whereas there are some things they did not know at all. But if you carry your family along, your mother, your father, elders, Bible says something that in the multitude of counsel, there is safety. Google can tell you some things that it cannot tell you everything. Can't tell you all. So you need counseling. You need to ask questions from the people that have gone ahead of you in marriage. That is what they call counseling, that know better than you. Many of our youth today, there is nothing like endurance. Yes, marriage is not meant to be endured, but to be enjoyed. But there are some things you need to endure in your marriage. When that endurance is not there, you see divorce, you see separation. Technology or modern, this our era now still tells us respect your husband, but where there is power tussle, you understand?
Yeah.
Power tussle, I am more than you as a woman. Because of that, you don't respect your husband. I don't think any marriage will work well like that. So this technology, we should be careful. Let's bring everything together, 2 + 2, then we get the answer.
Very fantastic answer, ma. Now, final question, on this particular conversation as we wrap up this very, very, very insightful interview. What are your thoughts? What advice would you give to intending couples, young couples now, that are trying to get married when it comes to navigating the culture of bride price? Now, some young people don't understand the relevance. Some young people disagree with the relevance of bride price, while some other young people do agree with it. So what would you say to this group of people who don't like the idea of bride price?
I will just appeal to our youth. They should please know the importance of this bride price, and that it's very, very important, because whatever you give out today, they say what goes round turns round, whatever. Please don't rule it out. Give honor to your the woman you want to get married to. Recognize the family. Recognize the parents, especially the father that trained her and the mother. So you give whatever that needed to be given to them, so that tomorrow, don't forget, that union will give birth to children. So whatever you want to receive in future, give it to them now, so that you too, you will not be denied of that. So, and what I will tell both the families, the bride's family should be considerate. And let us not forget understanding. There should be understanding between the both families, and that 2 of us, we are becoming one family. So there's nothing to be afraid of. So let guys there go out. Bible says, go and find your own spouse. Yeah. Don't be afraid. Everything is in the market, and cut your coat according to your material. All is well.
Yes, well, you know what I'm laughing? I feel like I feel like you've just spoiled me to go and find my own wife. Because,
I'm telling you.
Thank you very much,
in
Pastor.
a style, I'm telling you, don't be afraid. When that times come.
So that's for me.
We go for negotiation. Yes.
Okay, Mommy.
No wahala, no wahala.
I'll definitely call you. Pastor Mrs. Ogochukwu, thank you very much for joining us
having
on
me.
the show this morning. We're really delighted.